welcome everybody and happy Valentine's Day. We're sending out lots of love to you, knowing that you are the love of the world. Let's get started by doing a evocation. So close your eyes, join me as we center ourselves in that love that is everywhere present, that perfect love, that love that is in, through, and as each one of us, the love of God. God's infinite beauty and grace is right where we are this day. I know this day is the day that God has made, and I rejoice in it. I give thanks for each and every person that joins us today, sending out blessings, knowing that you are so important to this world. I know this service unfolds in all its glory and splendor, and each person receives exactly what they came here to receive. For this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful. And in this sense of absolute gratitude, I release, I let go, I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Well, we got Robin Hackett here today. He's our special music. We got Greg and Sheila Fawson, who produces this.
Hi, everybody.
In service. We got Stephan Anthony, who is our prayer master and affirmation king. And Reverend Valerie and Reverend Michael.
All right.
So let's just start with the song. Robin?
All right. Good morning, everyone. I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Yes, I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. Yes, I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Yes, I will make a quiet place. Yes, I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
Yes.
Welcome.
Loved it. Yay.
We're going to give some announcements.
Reading and affirmations.
The brain to the mouth today is some sort of a slow trip.
Some days I like that, maybe because it's so cold. So anyway, we'll see you in just a little bit. So like us and check in at Facebook at CSL North Metro. That's right. And then check out our website. I'm having the same problem.
It's catchy.
It is. Check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org and go to our contact list. You can add yourself there. You can request prayers. The affirmations and the treatments that Stephan writes are available out there too. And there's blogs and there's all kinds of really nice information there. So We'd love to have you check us out. Today's title is Don't Avoid It, Talk to It. And our guest artist you've already met is Robin Hackett, who we love, 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 love. And the reading is from 365 Nirvana Here and Now, Living Every Moment in Enlightenment by Josh Baran. And then I think Stephan's going to read our affirmations. So welcome, Stephan. Hi.
Oh, look at that.
Affirmations for this beautiful day and this week. On this day, I see clearly the light of God in, through, and all around me. I love myself fully, which allows me to love others and be loved. Gentle peace and divine joy exist as all my experiences. Abundant and prosperous good is revealed to me now. Gratitude is the foundation that I build my life on. I surrender to the infinite wisdom of spirit, and so it is.
So it is. Those are good.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And the reading, yay.
That's from 365 Nirvana, Here and Now, by Josh Baran. Is there effort required on this path? Personally, I find I have less and less energy to make an effort in any direction. You can't make an effort without tension. But why do you make an effort? Only because you're looking for some result, for something outside yourself. Once you really know that what you're looking for is your real nature, you lose the impetus to strive. So first, see how you are constantly making an effort. As soon as you are aware of the process, you are already outside it. And it may come as an original perception that you are really stillness. But doesn't even seeing this require some effort? No. This seeing is your natural state. Just be aware that you don't see. Become more aware that you constantly react. Seeing requires no effort because your nature is seeing, is being stillness. The moment you're not looking for a result, not looking to criticize, to evaluate, or conclude, just looking, then you can perceive this reacting, and you're no longer an accomplice to it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Now we got to practice it.
You do. Practice, practice.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Okay, we're ready for another song.
We
right?
are.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to say, Stephan, that was really, really beautiful. Hard to do.
Yeah.
I absolutely think with this next song that I'm going to sing, that's being in the space of pure love. So I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. And when I lose myself, when I feel I can't go on, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Yeah,
Ah, thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
like our little love Valentine's song for today.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
much.
All right, we're gonna do our thing, and we'll be back to you in shortly.
I'll be here.
All right,
Okay.
we're
All
so glad. See ya. Hey.
Hey,
Here we are.
so I'm gonna make a disclaimer for what I've got to talk about today because you may find it a little out there, but mostly what I talk about is influenced by Ernest Holmes and all the other great New Thought teachers, but Ernest Holmes is a great part of what brought me into this philosophy and what has kept me going. But more equally important is my reflections of my spiritual path and things I've learned spiritually for me. And I share them with you because you can make them your own, you can believe them, you don't have to believe them, but whatever. It's all about spirituality. We're all spiritual beings having this spiritual experience, and everybody's story and everybody's experiences are equally important.
Mm-hmm.
I love this quote by Albert Einstein. He said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious."
Mm-hmm.
The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. And for the last, probably most of my life, I've tried to live in the mysterious because there's something about not being of the world, but being in the world. And so I want to share the story that I read a number of years ago about a woman named Elizabeth Jameson. Now, Elizabeth was, she spent a lot of her life working as a public interest lawyer, representing incarcerated children. And that is a pretty high vibe thing to do with your life. Well, one day she woke up and she discovered she didn't have a voice. So she was concerned. And as you all know, lawyers need a voice. So she went to the doctor and they started doing all these tests over a period of time and they weren't coming up with anything. And finally they said that they needed to do an MRI. Is that right?
Could be.
Yeah, an MRI. And to their dismay, she found out that she had multiple sclerosis. And they gave her copies of the printouts of the MRI. And she said that she stared at them and they started talking to her. And they told her to start painting. So she had never painted in her life. There was something that she didn't do. So she followed it. And you gotta admit, that's kind of mysterious, having these MRIs talking to you. And she feels that she could talk back by honoring them and painting. So she did all these paintings of not what the doctors said she interpreted these MRIs, but what her soul interpreted these MRIs. So she painted what these MRIs told her to paint. And it was beautiful. It was so magnificent. You can Google her and see the pictures and experience for yourself. I myself felt a vibration coming from the pictures. And it dawned on me that everything is made up. Well, there was a point in time where they believed everything was made up of atoms and molecules and neutrons and protons, but then they discovered it went further than that. They're really frequencies, wavelengths that was light. So the atoms and molecules were all part of this, but it was wavelengths. And a lot of us, when we have challenges, our frequency starts lowering, and we vibrate at a low frequency. And I imagine, I can't talk for her, but I imagine when she first found that out, that came to pass for her. But somehow she had this connection with inanimate objects, which is also have all these same thing going on too. The wavelengths, the neutrons, the atoms, it's all made up of all substance, all things. So if these things, any object that you look at or experience is this wavelength taking place, this light, molecules and atoms all created to make this solid thing. So why can't we talk to it? If we have a challenge, why can't we talk to it? Why can't we have an experience with an object that may shift our frequency? I remember when I first came into this teaching, I was in not the best state in the world. I was going through a divorce and had my credit cards maxed out, and I was a mess. So I took this workshop about abundance, and they said to write a check and just keep it on your desk, and for an amount that you wanted to bring into your life monthly. So I wrote a check, and I would talk to this. I would see it as alive, as being cashed and fulfilling my my needs, taking care of some of the bills. And I don't know how it happened, but I decided that I was going to practice abundance in my life, even though all the bills didn't add up to what was in my checking account. And somehow, through the mystery of life, I paid off all my credit cards. I had back taxes that I owed, and somehow I survived and got out of it, because I know that this stuff works. I remember the first experience I ever had was maybe not the first, but the one that I remember most that made an impact on me. I had this newspaper route, and I was riding my bike, and it was raining this one day, and I threw the newspaper up, and it landed on a porch that wasn't covered. The stairs went up and then turned. Well, it landed out there, and I swear, well, I don't swear. Well, I do swear sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
Yeah. Anyway, to get to the point, that newspaper talked to me and said, "Don't leave me in the rain. I have a job to do."
Oh.
And I thought, well, I can either ride away or listen to it. So I put my kickstand down, ran up the stairs, put the newspaper where it was safe, and figured it could do its job. And I've had so many experiences like that, so many experiences. I was in Sedona, Arizona, and I was climbed up to Cathedral Rock, and I heard this thing calling me. And it wasn't like it was a noise, a voice or anything. It was inside my head. It was calling me inside my head. So I started looking around, wondering, what is it? Something is wanting to be saved. Something's wanting to be freed. So I looked at this one spot, and it was kind of like a little indentation next to the rock, where I could stick my hand in there. And I stuck my hand in there, and I heard the thing say, "Dig." So I started digging and digging and digging, and all of a sudden I find this solid object, and it's a carved turtle out of a gemstone. I forget what the gemstone is. It's kind of a purple gemstone. Anyway, I was like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. And I cherished this thing, and I went up and meditated with it, and I was getting ready to leave. And as I was leaving, it said, "Put it back." I was a little disappointed because I wanted to put it on my altar. So I fought back and forth. Is this the real voice? Or I was making excuses to try not to to leave it. And it told me right where to put it, and I put it. And as I was leaving again, I hear another thing calling me out. And it was a lot clearer this time. And I went right to this place and found a heart in the same gemstone, buried in a place that I don't know how I found it. It was a mystery. Living in a mystery. We're called to live in a mystery. And when we have challenges, I think, why not create something that meets that challenge? Like say the check, because I wasn't having the experience of abundance in my life. Why not talk to a check? Fill it out and say, this is what I want, and have a conversation with it. We can strike up a conversation just as easy as an object striking up a conversation with us. We can meet any challenge. We can bring our vibration up by having faith that there's something mysterious in the world, something glorious, something that goes beyond reason and goes into the intuitive state within us. We're all intuits. How much time do you spend in reason as opposed to opening yourself up to allowing to be called to the greatest and the most profound experience that you can have in your life? I challenge you. Listen. There's maybe some object in your house that's talking to you, but just listen, because as I stand here, the experiences I've had with inanimate objects have been glorious. And I feel if it works for me, it can work for anybody. Give it a try, see what happens. And don't avoid thinking that you're crazy. Don't avoid listening to whatever's talking to you, because you're not crazy. Something in this world surpasses the reasoning part of you and moves into the mysterious part of you, the glory of God in infinite ways of expressing and talking to you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And you can talk to things if you want to. You don't have to talk to things if you don't want. But like Einstein says, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. And I second that emotion.
So, when I saw this title, what I thought about is all those things that rumble around in our heads, that is the stuff that we don't want, and the things that we can't have, and what we should have said, and what we could have said, and how somebody said something to us, and blah, 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 all of those things. And I remember a counselor saying one time that when you have a wound, and sometimes it gets covered up and scabbed over and it stays there and it actually infects. And that counselor's like, sometimes you just have to pull the Band-Aid off to let the stuff out. And so I think sometimes we do that by talking in the wrong way or talking to the wrong person, and it ends up being, for example, complaining, and then the other person goes, oh yeah, and you're so right, and they were wrong, and blah, blah, blah. Well, so that just keeps the infection going. That just keeps whatever the energy is in your life happening the same way, the same way, the same way. And so starting to look at things differently, one of the effective practices that I have is I'm a prayer partner that I talk to every Monday morning. And I'll tell her the challenge that, or two or three, that I've had this week. But as I'm talking to her, because I know I'm talking in a safe space, I'm not talking to her for her to solve it for me or do anything. As I'm saying it out loud in that safe space, in that safe place, often I just hear what I'm supposed to do. I recognize, oh, this is what I've been claiming, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to go about this. And so I just think that, and also I've had the same experience, where I tell it not in a safe place, and then I have it come back and get shared, maybe other places where it wasn't safe to do so, or I have somebody that I tell who wants to help me stay in that victimhood place or in that place where I can't, and so there are lots of places where you can share things safely. One place is in a journal. One place is with a prayer partner that you really, really trust. One place is in a practitioner session, where a practitioner session is very, very different from counseling, because as we get trained as practitioners before we become ministers, but we're always practitioners, and that means we're just practicing the tools that we teach in Science of Mind. And we're there to listen to the person talk so that they can work it out. And sometimes we'll do like my prayer partner does and ask clarifying questions. Well, like, what did you mean when you said that? Or what would you like this to be? And we aren't solving things. I can remember at one point when I was in counseling where I realized it was more about the counselor than it was about me. And at one point, this is when I left, at one point they said something about we'd always need them. And it's like, dude, you're here to help me. You're not here so that I can keep paying you and help you. That's not what this is about. And so I just want to clarify that it has to be a very safe place. It has to be a person that you really trust. And that person has to have the kind of listening skills so that you allow that which is within you that already knows, that truth which is within you that already knows, so that you allow that to rise, so that you allow that to come forth. And so we all have that place in ourselves where we have the knower, where we have the truth, where we have the thing that is beyond the brain, that thing that is our connection to spirit, that is our connection to the great divine and the great mystery and the great wonder. And so at that point, it becomes very, very clear, oh, here's where I've been, and here's how I can do it differently, and here's my next step, and here's my next step, and this is how I work through this. So I think that allows us to see our wholeness, because sometimes we look at the things that we don't like, and we look at the things that we think we should change about ourselves to be whole. And the truth is, we're always whole. You want to talk a little bit before? No? Okay. We're always whole. And in every situation we're going through, in all of the circumstances that were happening, we're always whole. And so as we begin to see ourselves as that whole person, as that whole being who has a brain that's part of our physical being, that isn't part of our eternal being, that does its own thing sometimes. And if we allow it to do that thing that it does, because that's its job, and I think there's that part of that brain that was the part that was there when we first started evolving, that was always looking for danger. That part of that brain is still there. And so it's always looking for what's wrong, or what might not keep you safe, or what could harm you, or as opposed to what are all the wondrous possibilities that are here for me today. And so if we get to that place where we're recognizing, okay, I hear you. You can go back to sleep now. I'm okay. I got this. Spirit and I have got this. And I'm going to listen to that divine guidance, whether it's in the thing that talks, or whether it's a dream, or whether it's just I'm walking out the door and Spirit says, go do this first. I go do it. I sometimes recognize that I needed to do that thing, but a lot of times I don't recognize that I needed to do that thing. And so I don't know, did that keep me from an accident? Did Did it save me from harm? Did it not? Is it just practice? Is it like, okay, I'm practicing listening to that intuition, to that. Sometimes it's a voice, sometimes it's just a knowing, like how you hear it. Sometimes for me, it's a dream. And I wake up out of that dream absolutely knowing what is mine to do. So there are so many ways that you can listen to the intuition, that you can go past what the brain is telling us. And it's we need that brain. And we need to let it work for us and not drive us, and not create that thing where we think it's only the brain thinking, where we understand that we're so much more than that there's so much more of us. I know I've said this many times, but the body's in the spirit. The spirit's not in the body's in the spirit, and we're so much larger and so much grander and so much more than we think we are. And that's how we all have experiences of walking in a room and feeling the energy in there and knowing, oh, I feel safe in here. Oh, I think I'll just step right back out because something's not okay in here. We all have those things. And as we begin to allow our intuition or that divine guidance, or however you want to call it, as we allow that to be our guiding force, whether it says, you should move to Colorado and open a spiritual center right in this spot. Or, it's not going to tell us anything that's harmful. It's not, is it?
No.
It's not going to hurt, harm, or endanger us in any way. That still voice is not. The brain, on the other hand, can cause a lot of little challenges with, oh, you should be scared. Oh, you should be worried. Oh, if you don't stay awake all night thinking about what you're going to say to that person that made you mad yesterday, and then you're going to say this and you're going to say that. I had one of those nights this week, and I got to be mad all night. I got to be so mad all night, and I had all these things I was going to say. And the next day in foundations class, we did a open-eyed meditation staring at a candle. And I got so clear that my brain was encouraging me to focus on what I do not want. And that what I really, really need to do in this situation is get really, really, really clear what I do want, what I am going to manifest, what is going to happen in this situation, and only entertain that. Letting go of all of the blame, all of the shame, all of the stuff I was going to pour out there, and say, here's how this is going forward, and here's what's going to happen, and this is for the good of all. And just allowing myself to understand what the truth for all of us is, that we're all divine, that we're all made in the likeness and image of God, that we're all spirit, and that it isn't my job to be telling anybody else what's wrong with them. That isn't my job. My job is to focus on what's the right thing to do, what the next step is, what the next step is, and what the next step is, and then go forward in that way. In absolute love, not blaming and not controlling. It's just, here's how it's unfolding in a way that serves us all. And so I know that we get invited probably all day long, every day, especially if the TV's on or we're in touch with other people, or not that we're not out doing that much anymore. However, as we learn to recognize what's happening in the brain, and it's doing its thing, and it's a good thing, and we have other tools. We have spiritual tools. Those spiritual tools can help us listen to our intuition, listen to that divine guidance, listen to that part of our spirit who remembers why we came here and what our path is and what are the things that are for us to do in a way that helps us grow and expand and become more of who we came here to be. Then it's really interesting how often when I get in that space that everything just works out perfectly, and I didn't have to blame, and I didn't have to be mad, and I didn't have to do anything other than be really, really clear what's my part, what's my role, what Spirit is calling forth in this situation, and do that.
So Ernest Holmes says, thoughts are things. And the way that breaks down is everything that we think about is what we manifest.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a thing before it becomes the manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
So thoughts are things. So think about it. If you're being challenged in any way, then make that challenge a thing and make it your friend. Talk to this thing, because challenges are really blessings for our spiritual path.
Correct.
They help us grow and expand.
Yes.
And or not. But
we have choice.
Yeah, since we're talking to all of you who are on this spiritual path with us, I know you understand this. So if you're going through a challenge, just think of it as a thing. It's a friend. And this friend is trying to tell you something, trying to give you some advice, trying to show you something about yourself that is wanting to expand into something greater.
Mm-hmm.
And again, anything that you need to help you get past where you are, to help your vibration to your frequency to up level,
Mm-hmm.
because you're capable of doing that. You don't have to stay in the place of the challenge. You can rise above it and allow the challenge to guide you to what you are seeking.
Yes.
Elizabeth Jameson said that those pictures of her MRI freed her. They made her free. And what a profound thing to do. I was watching, because I looked her up again, because it's been a long time since I read that story about her. So I looked her up again, and she does a TED talk, and she talks about her body and how she honors it, even though it's going through all this stuff. And she demands people to respect her body for what it is, not look at her as anything else than what she is experiencing. And this woman is a powerful healer, and her journey is a lot of people would probably give up and become victims, but she's a fighter and she knows the truth. Actually, her right after she had that experience, her paintings hung at the Harvard School of Brain Science. She had them hanging there for a while. But I just think it's incredible what we can do when we give ourselves to the mystery of life and cherish it and honor it and allow the journey that we're on to take us, and know that it's all good all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And there truly isn't anything that can hurt, harm, or endanger you,
Mm-hmm.
because you're an eternal being.
Yes.
And I feel so blessed to have found this teaching and to be able to spread it. And I think it truly could free the world and make it a better place to live. So it's a happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's so good to have a partner that shares with you the good of life and to enjoy all things that come to us. I just feel very blessed this Valentine's Day, and we send our blessings out to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, so now I just invite you to take a deep breath in. Let it out. And as you're breathing in, just recognize that Spirit, God, the one power, the one presence, is breathing your breath, is beating your heart, is thinking your thoughts, is all that is. That there is no thing outside of that one divine intelligence that is everywhere present, all time, all space, all the things that we can see and touch and taste and hear and all that we cannot. It is everything that has ever been and everything that will be. It is that divine intelligence that is always creating and always expanding and always becoming more of itself. And I am one with that. And each one of us here is one with that. And everyone, everywhere is one with that. It's my life. It is Reverend Michael's life. It is Greg and Sheila's life. And it is Stephan's life. And it is Robin's life. And it is all the members of our Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. And it is everyone, everywhere, all the time. And so I just know that this is the day that God has made, and that it is full of joy and peace and truth and abundance and healing and divine guidance and divine protection and love and harmony and respect for each other and absolute understanding that we are so much more than our body, that as we think and feel what we are desiring, we are creating it. It is in the formless, waiting for us to bring it forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I'm so grateful to know this truth, I am so grateful to know it for each one of us. I'm grateful to know that we can just focus on peace and be that peace in our daily lives and be that place where peace shows up. We can spread that vibration of peace. We can push it out into the world. We can create a better place. We can create a world that works for everyone. Mm. And in absolute gratitude to know this is so, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And I'm so thankful to join in consciousness with Reverend Valerie, accepting everything that she has said, as done, and now fulfilled. I send out love and light to all those who have asked prayer in any way, those who have talked to us, those who have asked on our website, those who have asked through emails. I just know that as it's been asked, it is done. And I too surround not just our nation, but this planet for a divine healing. To rise above everything that has been causing conflict and causing the opposite of peace. And I know that as we join together and hold in consciousness, that it's just temporary, this time we are moving through, and there is something greater yet happening. Humanity coming into its own and embracing their spiritual nature. Humanity rising above the plane of things, rising above objects, rising above everything, and transforming into what we were meant to be on this plane. And so I bless our nation, I bless the world. I send out love and light to where there's conflict, to where there's lack and limitation, to where there's pain, knowing that these words cannot come back void. They already fulfilling themselves in every way, every form. And so with a heart full of gratitude, with the mind uplifted, knowing that everything is in divine order, I release, I let go, I let God, I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
Ashe, amen, and woo-hoo!
Oh, Robin.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, you guys, synchronicity abounds. I just read an article this morning called IFS therapy, though I didn't catch what that meant, but it was a psychotherapist talking about embracing your dragons, meaning whatever is going, up here in your mind, and talking to them. Talking to them. So thank you for that. That was very cool. So,
thank you.
Yes, here's a song for you all. You may want too, with all the ups and downs that you've been through. But there's more than the eye can see. There's the truth in your divinity. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Yeah. When those clouds roll in, don't you worry none. Before you know it, you'll be up with the sun. And on this world goes round and round. But in the chaos, there's something to be found. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Don't you worry about the rain upon your shoulders. Don't you worry if the sun don't shine. Don't you worry if there's enough for tomorrow. For if you go inside, you will see you are a shining light. Oh, be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was so beautiful.
Great message.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, it is our giving time.
Yeah, so it's a good time to be still and know all is well.
That's right.
And know that as you give from your heart, something mysterious takes place. There's a power to giving that cannot be explained, but whether you're giving of your service, whether you're giving of your treasures, giving is an important part of life, because as you give, you receive multiplied. You can never outgive the giver. So we're asking you to check with your heart and make sure your mind's included, and see where you are today in giving to our spiritual center. We're thankful for anything you can give, because we love doing this work, and we hope that you love it as much as we do. So, Shine, do you have something to say?
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell people how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have Venmo, you can put your QR code right up there and scan that, and you can go to our website and cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple places to give there. There's a way that you can just give once or sign up for every month, and there's also PayPal. So we have lots of ways for you to give, and we'll take checks. So
Yeah. If you want to come visit us, you can drop cash off on a doorstep.
that's fun too.
We look at you through the screen and say, we don't get our second shot yet, but we're getting there.
That's right.
So let's just bless these gifts that are imagined in this basket. Repeat after me. From my heart, I give eternal thanks.
From my heart, I give eternal thanks.
From my heart, I give these gifts freely.
From my heart, I give these gifts freely.
From my heart, I know they bless many, many people.
From my heart, I know they bless many, many people.
I accept them coming back multiplied.
I accept them coming back multiplied.
So I can give more.
So I can give more.
For this and so much more.
For this and so much more.
I say thank you.
I say thank you.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, one more song from the fabulous Robin Hackett.
Hi. My favorite song to sing in this community. Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through the storm and felt the wind upon my face. All the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yeah, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord. Yes, I am, and I'm hopeful, yeah, and I am so full, and I'm thankful, oh I am so peaceful, yeah, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, oh, yes I am. I'm hopeful, yes, I am so full, and I'm thankful, oh, I am. Yes, I'm thankful, oh, I am. So grateful, yeah, so peaceful, yeah, so hopeful. I am, oh, yeah. So thankful, so thankful,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Thank you.
I do too. Thank you.
Yes.
So, does anybody have any Valentine's wishes for all the folks tuned in?
Yeah, that I can see my Valentine lives in New York, and I haven't seen him in a while because of COVID. So just pray for the light at the end of the tunnel to get here faster.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for getting my shot today on Valentine's Day. My COVID shot. I can't believe it's today.
Greg, you got a thankful?
I'm thankful she's getting it too. Because I'm next in line. So.
Well, I'm thankful that in less than a month, my mother will be here with us and she'll be loved and surrounded with peace and harmony for a change.
Nice.
So thank you all for joining us today. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day and take the heart and love into the whole next year. We thank you for joining us. We're grateful for who you are and what you mean to us. And we say,
No, we don't. We
We
say,
don't.
join us on Zoom.
yeah.
Yeah, join us on Zoom, and you're going to pray us out?
I am, but so the Zoom, the Zoom thing is on the comments.
Yes.
Yes.
The link to Zoom. So
The link. The link.
anyway, join us on Zoom afterwards. And okay, let's Benedict this out.
I like that. Kazoom.
Zoom.
Yeah. Okay, close your eyes and join with me. Take this levity and this love and this light into your heart and go out and multiply it in the world, knowing that you are here for a divine purpose, and we're grateful for you. We're grateful for life. We're grateful to serve in this way. gratitude all over the place.
Mhm.
Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. It is done, and we let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all later.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
You too.
Yes,
And thanks so much, Robin.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.